Hey guys, the next video I'm going to do for you is Chem Caddy troubleshooting. Visit us at Chem Caddy sprayer/applicator on Facebook, or you can order from chemcaddy.com online. If you have any questions, reach out to James Fallhaber on Instant Messenger, and I'd be happy to answer any kind of questions for you. Okay guys, we're going to talk about troubleshooting the Chem Caddy after you've received it and built it up. Just basically, you can see as you're facing it, the motor's to the right side, and all the holes that are pre-drilled into the cooler are here waiting for you. And where my finger is, there's the main line that goes inside that connects to your battery. So it's very simple to set up. On this model right here, I like to remove the lid to be able to do what we're doing, okay? Anyway, here we go. Troubleshooting the Chem Caddy. If you're having problems out there in the job and it's not working, it could be something extremely simple. It doesn't mean that it's a piece of junk. It just needs a little maintenance, just like all our other equipment. So taking care of your equipment and it'll take care of you. I'd like to start with the pump. The pump's not coming on. Could be many reasons. It could be because your battery's dead. It could be because your charger's not charging your battery and your pump isn't working for that reason. So let's start with the basics. We're looking at the motor, and we're looking at the two connections. You want to look for rust. If you have no rust, that's a great thing. You have to also make sure that these connections fit well onto the battery. Make sure they don't come on and off too easy, because then you're not getting good contact. So based on my other video, we like to grease these all up and keep them greased up so they don't rust. So you have the best chance of making a great connection. Now we inspect our wires. Everything looks normal. I don't see any breaks. And whenever you remove these from the battery, grab them right here at the base and pull them off. Don't pull on the back of the wire. You're asking for problems. Okay? If this motor's not coming on, it could be because of the trigger. Well, how can that be? This motor has a pressure switch, and an on-off switch is not necessary. Whenever you let go of the trigger, the motor totally stops when enough pressure builds up in the line and will not run anymore until you pull the trigger again. Now let's just say your trigger is plugged. We have a filter right here. Make sure that's clean. Rinse it out with the garden hose. Put it back in. Tighten this up to snug. It's got an O-ring to seal. We're not done. Here's your jet nozzle right here. What we can do here is just unscrew this. And you have several holes here. And I'm also looking down the throat. I see no debris. Just make sure I clean it out. So pick it out with tweezers or rinse it out with the garden hose and you should be good to go. So now that we've eliminated this and the pump isn't on, you might want to disconnect this from your clear tube so this can free flow dump when the power comes on. So there's no trigger. So it should automatically run and run and run. If it runs, then there's nothing wrong with this. It could have been this being plugged. Okay? Let's talk about the battery. We have a charger here. We throw it on a charger all night. We go out there in the field and it's not working. We're wondering, is it a bad battery? Is it a bad charger? So what I recommend doing is you can actually take this battery, use your car charger, and connect it up. 2 amps is best, and see what kind of reading you get. Sometimes it'll give you 100% reading, meaning this charger's bad and that this is fully charged. If you do decide to use a car charger, which is just fine, just make sure you never put it on more than 2 amps, or if you do, never leave it on 10 amps long, but preferably to get the most life out of your battery, 2 amps is great. And that'll actually tell you right when your battery's fully charged. It'll say 100% on it, or your needle will come down to where it should be. Your charger. The charger has a little light on it. That little light's an indicator light telling you that you've got power and that it's in the on position. Okay? It's not necessarily telling you it's fully charged. This charges easily in about 4 to 5 hours this way. You can plug it on all night because there's a sensor in here that will kick off and kick on as it needs to maintain the charge in the battery safely. Okay? Now, let's talk about the motor one last time. Your motor, every now and then, if you don't keep your suction tube clean, you may end up picking up something that'll make it through here into the pump and into the valves. As your Chem Caddy sits right there, we have a plate that's got 5 Phillips screws. I've removed the screws already. Got the tools right here. I'm going to pop this off. See if we can get you a little closer here. Hopefully you can see it as good as I can. And I've took the screws off. Anyway, if you get even a bit of hair or a little bit of debris in here, you'll have trouble priming and you won't get full pressure. Not a big deal. Doesn't mean the pump's junk, just needs serviced. So once I've removed the 5 Phillips screws, I'm going to pull this straight off, straight up. Okay? Here, it's obvious it only goes on one way, and here's your valves that move back and forth, and you have an incoming and you have an outgoing chemistry as the diaphragm moves back and forth. And by the way, this pump can run dry, so no problem. There's a little node right there that this spring sits right on, so you can't get it wrong. I'm going to set that aside right there, and you have valves here. What I'm looking for now is for any kind of grass or hair or anything small that doesn't belong here. It's just like your pressure cleaning pump. If your pressure cleaning pump isn't sitting properly on its seats, you're going to get a pulsation. In this case, you'll be losing your prime. So I'm looking for hair right here, and I don't see any. But what I can also do is take a small screwdriver, getting this right off the ridge, and I'm bringing it up. You just do it gently, you don't rush. Now you can see I've raised this right here. There's a poppet right here. And I'm also looking inside right now. This is a good place to have a little bit of tweezers. And I'm looking for any kind of debris in there that could interfere with the way it's working. When I'm done, I put it back just the way it is, and it's right back in spot. I'm just looking for any kind of loose debris. That will keep it from working properly. Once it's cleared out, you're good to go. Put that spring right back in the poppet. This goes straight down. Like that. Got my 5 screws. Piece of cake. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to work on these. I will screw this in just a minute, but you just screw it in snug. There's 3 different parts to this pump that you need to know about. You have the motor, and the motor will be powered by your battery. No kidding. Secondly, right here is your pressure switch. Your pressure switch right here tells you when you've built up enough pressure, it shuts the motor off by the wires that are coming down to the back here. And thirdly, you have the valves right here that go from in to out to your gun. And you check your valves, they last forever. You just have to keep them clean, and this will start working for you great forever. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, you know how to reach me. The Chem Caddy is a tool that I've been using for many, many years. Happy to bring it to the public. This has made my job really, really easy. I've been using it for over 10 years out in the field, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I appreciate your support. Thank you.